Hello and welcome to a Tuesday night episode of
Oh
the
yeah.
Opinion City Podcast. I'm King Ralph. He's Parma Sean. We are your hosts. Sean, we've got a huge show today. Why don't you tell everybody what we've got going on tonight on a Tuesday night?
We have a super Tuesday night guest in Becca Wiley. Super excited to have our second ever Bell to Bell guest. And she's talking top 5 dream matches. Super excited about that one.
Matches, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So make sure you hang around to the main event to see top 5 dream matches. And tell you what, it's party time. So let's
go.
Let's get this thing going. Episode 90 starts right now. All right, and we're back.
What up?
Hi.
We brought somebody with us. Look.
Yes, we did.
What's going on? Hi there.
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Wow. Yeah.
Doing
I'm excited.
wonderful.
Tuesday night edition of Opinion City. We're super excited. This is now our third shot at getting this done.
Yes.
But here we are. It's happening. No matter what happens, it's happening.
Yes. Happening.
So here we are. All right. So let's talk a little bit. Let's kind of let's start at the beginning here. We're gonna kind of get an idea of who exactly is Becca Wiley. If you were describing Becca Wiley to somebody who is living under a rock, doesn't know anything about you, who is Becca Wiley?
I like to describe Becca Wiley as a symbol of hope.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
If anyone who doesn't know, it's just a symbol of hope. An underdog, if you will, but I like to prefer a symbol of hope.
Now, are you a big superhero fan? Is that where you got most of your inspiration from?
Yeah, so Supergirl is known as a symbol of hope. So I'm like, you know what? Symbol of hope. Kind of like that. So Becca Wiley is also a symbol of hope.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Like it.
Now, so what was the moment in your life that made you decide that this crazy career, crazy thing that called wrestling is something that you wanted to sink your teeth into and you wanted to take a shot at?
My first ever favorite was AJ Lee because she wasn't like the other female wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I saw Bayley for the first time, then I knew, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can do this too. And then it was really Sasha Banks and Bayley at Brooklyn that I'm like, I think I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was the moment for me.
All right. So talking about, the beginning of things, and this is interesting because last night, we were going to try and do this last night, and then we were having a conversation, and well, listen, you were like, so just so you know, I watch Raw with my dad, and I wanted to say, just so you know, I watch Raw with my wife, but
yeah.
what is your earliest memory of pro wrestling?
Watching with my dad on the TV in his room. I remember it being just on his TV and sitting on the bed and watching it. And then all of a sudden, the timeline just jumps all of a sudden where my sister's there too watching it.
Nice.
And then the timeline in my mind just jumps again where she wasn't watching anymore and it was just me and my dad again.
Now, do you remember your first, what was the first thing that you saw as a wrestling fan? What was your first memory of watching? What was the first thing that you watched?
I don't remember specifically, but it was definitely Dolph Ziggler because I remember just his blonde hair and it's just so vivid where I just saw him flying around the ring a lot and I'm like, oh, okay. That he has really nice hair too.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about then and let's talk about now. So when you first kind of got into wrestling as a fan, did you have some favorites then, and do you have some favorites now?
Like in wrestling in general?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my favorite, like then, like I said, was like AJ Lee. I
Mhm.
loved Dolph Ziggler when I was younger. The Shield, I really enjoyed.
Mhm.
And then as time went on, I discovered Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
and then pretty much it was Bailey, sprinkling a few people here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But like my main inspiration and favorite has always been Bailey.
Now, what were your thoughts on her big heel turn when she slashed all the Bailey buddies and
Oh,
went crazy, cut her hair short? Were you like all into that? Or were you kind of sad that she went against the buddies and tore it all down and ruined it all?
See, I was surprised because like I love the Bailey Buddies and I just thought they were the coolest thing when she came out. But then I'm like, you know what? Good for her. It's time for her to like do a little change. And I'm like, good for her. If this is what she wants to do, I'm with you, girl. Like you do this.
Right.
Yeah, I was very excited for that because I felt like, I mean, I liked Bailey from the beginning. I thought she was one of the better wrestlers in NXT. I just felt like she'd been doing that for so long. It was time for a change, and I think it was the right time. I think it kind of catapulted her career a bit. And now you see where she's at now. She's at an incredible level right now.
Yeah.
And I think that heel turn kind of helped catapult her a little bit.
It made her, I feel like, be serious in fans' eyes. And I also really love the symbolism behind the destroying the Bailey Buddies, like moving on to a new chapter.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so you watch Monday Night Raw now. Are you more a fan of Raw? Or are you more a fan of SmackDown?
I am more of a fan on whatever has more women on the show.
Nice. Good answer.
Yes.
Good answer.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Do you have somebody you think that's going to you think Bailey's going to win Elimination Chamber?
I hope so. My biased mind wants her to, obviously. But I do want to see who else is going to be in the chamber because it might balance out where it's, well, I want her to win, but does someone else need that spot more than her?
Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Who do you think Charlotte's going to choose?
Oh, ho.
You have thoughts on that?
I'm hoping Rhea because I just think again it's symbolic because she chose Rhea the first time. She could choose Rhea again to show this the difference. Though I do think Tiffany would be a good match too.
Yes.
I do think I also loved when Rhea faced Charlotte. I think it was the 2 Manias ago. I only remember it like so vividly. One because she did an insane counter to the Riptide into an DDT, which I remember so much. And then I also remember there was like a tornado warning, so we were in my basement while we were watching the power.
Oh wow!
Out.
Oh jeez.
That's why I'm like, that's why it's so vivid.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
oh, I remember that match. Yeah, we're in the basement.
I don't know if I would be able to watch that. I'm scared. I'm just gonna sit down here and wait.
I was scared, but the power was out, and I'm like, you know what? I had nothing else to do. I'm like, so let's just blow it up.
Might as well just watch wrestling.
If I was in the basement and I was worried about that, I'd be thinking to myself, well, if I go, I'm going to go watching wrestling. So it's
exactly.
not the worst thing in the world.
So let's talk about Bell to Bell. First of all, how did you find the Monster Factory? And how did you get sort of involved in the beginnings of Bell to Bell?
All right, so I found the Monster Factory originally like a few years ago as like an option to train at. But it was a little far. And I was like young, obviously. So my parents were like iffy about it. And then they were doing the summer camp. And I said to my mom, like, well, why don't we just go and try it out? So I did the summer camp and I had a really good time with it. And then through that, I became kind of close with Missy. And so throughout like open rings and stuff, I was like practicing and training and getting better and better every time. So then Missy reached out to me and she's like, so I have this idea for a company. And she's like, and I want you to be there. And I'm like, of course I'll be there. So it's like, I feel like it's just like a continuation from that summer camp where it really just grew our relationship from there.
So, talk a little bit about, like your relationship with Missy, what it's like, working with her, training, all that kind of stuff. Missy is checking in here.
Yes, she is.
Becca is an amazing inspiration. Thanks for joining us, Missy. Yeah, so talk a little bit about you, Missy.
Okay, so I absolutely adore Missy beyond words, and it's not just because like, well, she's your boss and she hired you. No, she chose me, where she could have chose any woman that she wanted, but she specifically reached out to me, which I just think is just really cool and special because she wanted me to be a part of something that she's creating. So that really meant a lot to me. And she's just a really good person to go to for advice, not just in wrestling, but just in life in general, because she just has so much experience. So it's like she's just a great person in general as like a mentor.
Very nice, very nice. And she said that feeling is mutual. So there you go.
Awesome.
So what does it mean to you to have the opportunity to have an all women's promotion here in Jersey at the Monster Factory?
The best. Like, I'm not just saying that to say that. It's actually like the best feeling. There's no like animosity back where it's like, oh, she's better than me, like type of thing. It's everyone wants everyone to get better, and we just want the whole company to succeed, and we just want to make a point that women's wrestling can sell, and it's just as good as any wrestling. It's wrestling in general. It's not women's wrestling. It's wrestling.
Right.
So it's just really cool, and I always talk about it like to like my friends and stuff, where I'm like, yeah, I'm wrestling Bell to Bell, and they're like, the all women's company. I'm like, yeah, the all women's company. Like they all like they know like what Bell to Bell is, which is just really cool because it's like being around wrestlers in general is cool, but being around women is just a whole different feeling when they all just want you to like succeed and they all just support each other, and it's just such a great positive feeling backstage to be there with everyone.
Absolutely. So have you found that you know, working with Bell to Bell, being at the Monster Factory, have you found that there are maybe some people that you've gravitated towards that are maybe, you know, inspirations or mentors, people that you've, you know, enjoyed working with?
Absolutely, yeah. As far as like mentors, like who I gravitated towards, I might embarrass Stevie a little bit, but I'm going to do it because it's just okay. So I'm a little socially awkward. So when I got there the first time, I was like sitting to myself. I'm like, I don't really know what to do. I'm like, this is kind of awkward. And I just remember Stevie spilling like a soda or something in the back. And she just looks at me and she's like, oh. And that kind of like just like really broke the tension of like, okay, it's not going to be like scary or anything. And just like, since then, like I gravitated towards like Stevie. I knew Mimi before Bell to Bell, so Mimi too. And Kate Thorne, I got really close with her as well. So it's like, those are the people who I like stuck by and stuck with. And those are probably the people who I'm like most inspired by, and they help me a lot.
Now, last year at one of the Bell to Bell shows, you got the opportunity to work with Allison Kay.
Oh,
what was that experience like for you?
Terrifying. I was so scared because I knew her since I was, I don't even know. Like I met her at first, and like I'm pretty sure either 2020 or 2019, so a long time ago. And she knows me, so like she knew my progress and stuff, where she's giving me advice. So to actually, then I was always like, I'm gonna wrestle Allison Kay one day, and then to actually see it happen, I was like, holy crap, I'm actually gonna wrestle Allison Kay. So I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of her because I talk all this crap to her, and I'm like, I'm going to back it up. I'm like, that's going to be really embarrassing now. But it was surreal and honestly a dream come true. I wasn't really able to put into words because like once I found out when I was actually like in the ring, I was like, wait, backtrack. I'm wrestling her now?
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like, it was just an insane experience, and just the match itself, it was, in my opinion, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, though I was in much pain after and had to go to school the next 2 days, and I had to wear like something covering my chest because my chest was all red from her chop.
Oh jeez!
And then it was like all cut up, and I'm like, yeah. So guys, don't ask about my chest. If I'm limping, don't ask why. don't ask any questions.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
All right. So, you know, speaking about, you know, having, you know, that one of your favorite matches, what other matches have you had that are really kind of stand out in your mind as matches that you were favorite matches or matches that you really enjoyed?
My last match at Battle Battle actually, it was changed. It was supposed to be against Mother Endless, but it was against Aaliyah Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, Leah Knight. Right? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. I'm so like this is actually really embarrassing.
Oh, it happens. I'm terrible.
It
with
happens
names,
to all of
too.
us. It happens to the best
Yeah.
of us.
I literally had like 3 matches since then. Leah Knight. I was
Mhm.
right. I was right. I was right.
You're
Leah
good.
Knight.
We're good. We're good. We're
See?
good.
There we
That was
go.
really embarrassing. Leah, if you see this, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
Melissa Sampson even wrote for you, Leah Knight. There you go.
Yes, there
That was
you go.
Thank you, Missy.
embarrassing.
Thank you,
That was
Missy.
so
Up in there, yep.
embarrassing.
No, it's fine.
Now we're
Listen,
good. We're fine.
It happens.
Why
we're-
are we live? You gotta do this
Listen,
live.
listen.
we do it live, man.
I forget Sean's name all the time. I'm calling him like Jeff
That's true.
and Mike and
You know,
Bill.
just
I
random,
I
just
called him
random
Tito
names.
once,
Just
like,
throw
I
it
just-
out there.
Yeah, just random names. Yeah.
I really enjoyed working with her. She's very creative and she's very like powerhouse-esque. So
Cool.
and I'm very I'm kind of little. I mean, I'm tall, but like I'm very like little. So it was very fun being able to do like more like high flyery moves with her and get to try out different stuff. Like I took my first buckle bomb and then also my first
Ooh.
like face wash in the corner. I'm like,
Mm.
oh, that was not fun. But I'm like, that was kind of cool though. That I was able to take it though finally.
So is there a move that has been done to you where you did it once and you said never again?
Yeah, that's a good question.
See, I say never again, but I took this move twice.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't taken anything that crazy other than like a power bomb.
Right.
But I mean, it was done completely safe. But I was just like,
Sure.
oh, that was so scary. It was like very nerve wracking. I was like,
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm up here and like I'm about to get slammed. And I'm not even gonna see what I'm doing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's gonna be scary.
The fear of the unknown, just getting slammed to the mat.
Pretty much.
Okay, so is there a move that that you have tried that you were really nervous about trying?
Like in a match or just in general?
Just in general, because like I always think like people climb up to the top rope and then realize like that's not for me.
Yeah, no
You know,
thanks.
like-
No
like
thanks.
Because I said, listen, all I ever want to do in the entire world of wrestling, I just want to drop one elbow drop
That's
from
it.
the top rope. That's all I want to do,
That's it.
and then like I'm done. That's it.
Retired.
But I can imagine like that would be a little terrifying, maybe.
Yeah, it's not that it was scary. I just was scared it wasn't gonna do it justice. My
Right.
finisher
Right.
at first, the Becca to Belly or Bailey to Belly.
Right.
Because I actually asked Bailey for permission to use it. Which
Oh,
she-
really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and
That's
she,
awesome.
and she named it for me. She said absolutely, but name it the Becca to Belly.
That's
so
amazing. That's really cool.
So my biggest fear when using it, I'm like, holy crap, if this doesn't look good, she told me I can use it. I'm like, this doesn't look good. This is not going to be good on me.
Yeah.
So how did all that go down? Did you meet her somewhere? Did you reach out to her online? Like, how did that happen?
So I'm a bit of like a stan, but it's okay because real wrestlers are fans of the companies.
Yes.
Right. Of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
So I am very committed to meeting my favorite wrestlers, even if I'm in
Mhm.
business, especially Bailey. If like I don't know where it is, I'll be like to my dad, I'll be like, let's go to Fanatics Fest. Let's go to Mania. Let's go meet her again. My dad's
Right.
like, again? And I'm like, again, let's go.
Again.
So it was at Mania actually. And after like, it's like the picture or whatever, I asked her really quickly. I was like, I just have a quick question. I'm like, can I use the Bailey Belly to my finisher? And she looks at me, she's like, heck yeah, dude. Absolutely. She's like, but call it the Becca to Belly. And then so later I tweeted like about it and like emotional, whatever. And then like a few hours later, she retweeted it and then added Becca to Belly, proud of you. And then I wanted to die because I was like,
Yo,
holy crap.
that's-
It's a few hours later and she actually remembered our conversation too. It's not just like it was like a pass by
Yeah.
thing. Like she remembered it. And like
That's
that's
really
insane.
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
that had been one of those. Am I dreaming? Like, can you pitch me? Is this real? Like,
Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of insane. I was like, holy crap. I'm like, she's proud of me. She's proud
Right.
of me?
right. She's proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about this. So how long have you been wrestling now?
About 2 years. I think this is going to be my 3rd year, I think, but
Okay.
I counted on my own. Like, I technically in my head, I'm like, the start of my career was last year mentally.
Okay. And you are how old right now?
Right now, I'm 19.
And so what is, I mean, because, most 17, 16-year-olds, they're doing all kinds of other things. They're not like getting into professional wrestling. So, what was that like for you at that young age, just kind of taking on something that, is something that even, like some adults have trouble like committing
Yeah.
to how tough it is.
It was definitely difficult at first. It's just like a lot of doubt, and then people around me were like, "You want to do what?" The popular kids or whatever be like, "Why do you want to do that?" And I'm like, "Because it's what I love." And they're like, and people would be like, "Well, have a backup plan." I'm like, "I know I'll have a backup plan, but I don't yet plan on using the backup plan."
Exactly.
It's like that's plan like I don't know Z. God forbid it doesn't work out,
Mm.
but that's in the back of my mind. What's in the front of mine is I want to do this because I want to be like my heroes on TV. I want to be like them. So it was definitely difficult, like mentally, because my friends, all like my best friend, Butch, supported me throughout the whole thing. Her and my friend Lana, incredible people. Shout out to them. They supported me throughout the beginning, and my friend Lana, she's actually been to like the beginning of the shows, like when I first started, and now looking back, and I'm like, oh girl, why'd you go to those shows of all of them? I'm like, you should have went to my shows now. Like those were not my best matches.
Right.
But it was just really cool because like my friends supported me. I did have teachers as well that supported me. Last year in Votech, my teachers supported me incredibly, and it really helped me with my confidence and like believing that I can actually do this. And like people who don't know that much about me, and even like it was a junior year when I first went to Votech. The first day, I mentioned wrestling or whatever, and they supported me, and it was from the first day that they supported me. And I'm like, if these people don't know who I am and they can support me, then why can't anyone else just support me in general? So I'm like, that just gave me confidence in general to be like, maybe I can do this then. So it was difficult doing it young, but I think it's worth it because it just taught me a lot of just self-discipline too.
Absolutely, yeah. So what are some of your long-term and short-term goals that you like to do in your professional wrestling career?
I want to win a title.
Sure.
Whoever's watching as promoters, I want to win a title. I really
Putting it out there.
Yeah, just putting it out there in case anyone
That's
was wondering. I'd really like to win a title. I just want to wrestle wherever I can. I want to wrestle in Texas for my friend who lives down in Texas. I want to wrestle in California for my friend in California. I want to wrestle in Australia for my friend in Australia. I want to wrestle
There you
wherever I
go.
can. I just want to get my name out there and get my face out there.
Sure.
Now, is there any place that you want to go internationally that like you really want to go to?
There's nowhere that I really want to go to other than anywhere.
Just anywhere. Just go anywhere. Love that.
I have through wrestling and like being like a fan online, I've made so many friends from around the world. Like I have a friend in Scotland. So I'm like, I want to wrestle in every place where they're at because I just think wrestling for them would just be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where have you been wrestling now other than, like bell to bell? Have you been wrestling for other companies? Have you been, has it all been kind of in the same area, or have you been, maybe traveling a little bit?
The furthest I went, which was actually this past month, was Long Island, which I wrestled for one of my closest friends, Kaya, there. I wrestled, and she was in the crowd, which was really cool. And I do wrestle though pretty much all over Jersey. IWA, I've been constantly booked there. I've almost won their title. I just can put that out there. I haven't, but I haven't. But I was
close.
Just a little off. I'm trying to think. I recently was in a battle royal for Mawa. I'm pretty sure it's Mid Atlantic.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Did not win that one either, but that's okay.
That's okay.
It's all right. That
all right.
Yeah,
it's all about the experience.
Exactly.
Wherever you go.
Exactly.
One of our listeners here named Elvis had a question about what is your favorite cities What is your favorite cities in the U.S. that you've wrestled in so far? Do you have a favorite city? Maybe in Jersey. Was New York maybe your favorite place so far? Do you have like a favorite spot other than, of course, Monster Factory? Of course, that's the given.
I'm trying to think where I got like the best reaction. Bell to Bell have just been really where I've gotten like the most reaction because I think I've just been on there like most constant. But IWA was good too. And also, I mean, I got a chant in Long Island and I never wrestled in Long Island. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'll take that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, speaking of, wrestling all over, first off, are you a fan of traveling? Is that something that you're looking to do as far as your wrestling career goes? And, looking at the United States, if you had, somewhere right now that you could go wrestle that you'd really want to go and wrestle, where would that be?
I want to travel as much as I can. I'm still getting used to like driving like far, like, so I want to like expand, like not slowly, but like gradually, like get like further and further type of thing. Sure. Like I don't want to all of a sudden be like, all right, California, let's go. Because I'm like, that's
cross
the other side of the country.
Yeah.
So that'd be a little wild all of a sudden. But I would really love to start like getting out there more for new people to see my face. And I really want to wrestle at like Labor of Love because that's where a lot of Worldwide Dojo people, like everyone who I train with wrestles there. So I'm like, that'd be really sick to be on the show with everyone who I train with.
Yeah. So we might know somebody from.
We might know a guy.
We might know a guy. He may have been on our show
multiple times,
2-3 times. Yeah, a couple 2-3 times. Maybe we'll have to throw that out there. I'm sure Labor of Love would be lucky to get you on a show.
Now,
that'd be cool.
What are your thoughts on tag team wrestling?
Oh,
so I've been actually in a few tag matches. I'm one's coming up for Bell to Bell actually. I'm facing Daughters of Darkness with oh my god, I hate names.
You're better at faces than names, right? Is that your thing? Because I'm the same way. I'm better at faces than I am with names.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like Journey Burke.
There you go.
Oh, hey,
Journey Burke. Another person, dude. We know her very well as well. She's also.
I haven't seen her in a hot minute. But I've trained with her before, and she's great. She's incredible, and I'm excited for that. So tag matches. I mean, I could be a tag wrestler. I could be anything wrestler, just not death match. Don't book me.
So that's out. No death match.
No Nothing. Shot. Okay. I would ever do death match. I'm way too like skirmish with blood. I'm like, if I get a paper cut, I'm dead.
So there's no chance that we'll see you any cage matches or any death matches.
Whoa! Cage matches are different. Cage matches are not death matches.
But they're still very violent. Still pretty violent.
They're not, like,
maybe not to the level of death match, but they're still pretty violent.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're not as bad though. Like I wouldn't mind like a no DQ match. Like that's fine. Just don't put me with like exploding barbed wire.
Right.
That terrifies me.
Okay. So speaking of terrifying, and this was something that I was wondering as you mentioned this earlier. So not to jump any guns here, but next week we have someone on the show who you mentioned earlier that you were supposed to wrestle, Mother Endless.
Yes.
Is that a terrifying prospect to get? Because I keep telling people this. I've watched Instagram promos and I'm like, I'm legitimately terrified. Were you like legitimately terrified to get in the ring with her?
She's someone that when she's backstage, I tend to stay away from.
Right, there you go.
Okay.
Because personally, for my mindset, I'm like, all right, let's go. Got to get hyped. I'm not into that dark stuff. So I'm like, you do you, good for you. But I'm going to do me, where I'm going to like listen to my hype music, get myself ready and pumped. So I wouldn't say I'm scared of her because like, if you're a superhero, you can't really be scared of anyone.
Right.
Okay.
Though she wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't your first podcast, as we have found out before we got on the air.
Oh, that's right.
You were on the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast with one of my favorites of Cultaholic, Tom Campbell. What was that experience like? What was it like getting to be on a Cultaholic? What was it like getting to talk to Tom Campbell? Give us all the details.
That was insane. So I watched them since I was really young. So getting a message from him and be like, hey, if you wanted to come on our podcast sometime, that'd be really cool and stuff. I was like, holy crap, you want me on your podcast? I was like, you're like the superstar here, right? And not me right now. So I was like, are you sure? And like in my head, I'm like, really? So it was really cool and he was really nice. And I had a great time actually. We talked about a lot of different aspects of wrestling and then like personal life too. So it was actually really nice being able to actually talk to someone who I've also watched since I was very young. I remember showing my mom, it's really embarrassing, but it's like I don't know, do you know the What Happened to That Wrestler?
Yes.
I watched those with my mom.
Those are great. Those are amazing. I love those.
I watched those with my mom, and it's like when I was younger, I was able to do every line of the word song. It was so bad. I was like,
that's great.
Vibing with it.
Now,
Awesome.
was there a huge time difference? Like, was there a time that you had to go super early or super late because of their time change over there?
Honestly, not really.
No?
I actually have some friends like in like UK, so it's like not a crazy time difference where it's almost like I'm not used to it, but like I think it was midday here. I think it was night for them because again, I have a friend in Scotland, and obviously it's not the same exact time, but it's like the same like ish, so it's not completely far off. So it's like, oh, I'm used to calling her like I'll be calling her like now, and it'll be like 2 a.m. for her. So it's
wow.
The time differences are wild, but it wasn't like that crazy though.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned as you were talking there, you mentioned about listening to hype music. So what do you listen to that gets you hyped up?
Halsey.
Okay.
Okay.
That's your go-to.
Always. Her song Lighthouse. I love angry hype music because I'm like, let's go.
Right.
Let's go. I'm so ready right now.
I mean, you can't have just happy. I mean, you have to have something that will pump you up. You can't just have a happy song that'll make you happy, sure, but you gotta get pumped up. Ready
Exactly.
to go.
It's like you got the guitar, you got the drums in there, and I'm like, oh, I'm fired up right now.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Now, outside of wrestling, outside of the ring, what other hobbies do you enjoy doing if you have any spare time?
Yeah. So I'm a photographer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
I actually work for like a photography company.
Nice.
I do like studio shots for people. So I love doing that. And then I also do book photography in my free time for fun.
Oh.
Book photography. What's that? So what's that like?
So I like to find a book based off its aesthetic, and a lot of times it's like murder mystery books. That's like what I read, the only genre. So I like to base what I'm doing off the cover. So like the most recent one I did had like on the back of it there was a dice, and the book is a murder book, and I'm like, so what would it be like if I finger painted the dice red, like blood? And so I did that, and then I like edited it, and I took a bunch of the same like backdrop, but a dice that's floating. I like stuck it to a stick and like made it float around and edited the stick out. And that's like things I just enjoy doing. Like I like doing floating ones. Like I did one that had like puzzle pieces on the front. So I bought a puzzle from the dollar store, painted it the same color as the book cover, and just made it like put the puzzle pieces around and made them float as well.
Wow.
So, and then like another one is like it was called the Ivies, and it had like it looks like a lined paper on the front. And again, it's murder. So what I did is I took a paintbrush and I flicked red paint onto the paper to make it look like it was like blood.
Gotcha.
And then took the photo with that, and that's just something I really enjoy doing. Is just creating like scenes for the book cover itself.
Wow.
Nice.
And then I also like doing like art projects. I love diamond painting. And then
cool.
Recently I got into building book nooks.
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
They're very intricate. I had to learn how to turn centimeters into millimeters, so I don't like math, so that wasn't fun.
Oh, yeah.
No one likes math. Math's not fun.
Yes.
Math's hard. That's why I'm a wrestler. I'm like,
exactly.
Math is hard.
Exactly.
Math is hard. That's why I'm a photographer. Like, there's no math in that.
Yeah, there's no math. You just, point
Now,
and
you
click.
mentioned that you also had trained under Cheeseburger.
Yes, that's where I'm training now.
So what's been your experience like working with him?
An absolute dream. Like, I always say it's hard to be a wrestler with a disability because a lot of people don't understand what it's like. But even though he doesn't understand what it's like, he's always been just so patient with me and like kind
Mhm.
and like if I need a break, it's not like, oh, you need another break. It's all right. You can take it's okay. I don't have to feel bad for needing to take a break or take a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really appreciate that because you never know. Like sometimes people are gonna be like, oh, again with the break. Like she's just so
Right.
lazy. But it's like
Mm.
he's just very kind and very like patient with me and like always willing to like wait and help me get better.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah. Um, so what, so you're training with Cheeseburger now.
Mhm.
What have you kind of noticed is maybe some of the differences or similarities, training there, as it relates to like the Monster Factory?
So, I actually did the Monster Factory for a little while, but
Mhm.
before that, I did like an open ring thing with this one
Mm-hmm.
company. And my trainer, who also trains at World Dojo, Preacher, he
Oh,
Preacher.
did
mhm.
he
Yeah.
did the open rings there. So I think the difference between it is the school is just organized and it's like a curriculum. Like
Mhm.
everyone everyone who's there wants to be there and to get better. And at the open school, it's like people would just pop in, pop out, and it's like you might never see someone again.
Sure.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah. All right. So we mentioned, we may have mentioned this earlier, but you have a Becca Wiley shirt on there.
Yeah. Rocking the
Do
So
merch.
yes. So now, who designs your merch there?
so this is actually on my gear itself.
Okay.
Nice.
Hmm.
I think oh my god, wait, I'm gonna get his name because the guy who makes my gear,
Mhm.
who designs my gear, here it is. Neon Skylex is incredible.
Gotcha.
He did some design gear for Keegan Oxford, Nixon Noel, and
Oh,
then also
nice.
did one for Bailey's Return. I'm pretty sure Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And so
wow.
when I found out he did
Very
Bailey's
cool.
Return, her return gear, I'm like, shut up! You need to do my gear next. You're my
Right.
gear designer. So here's the thing. I want a shirt, right? So can I
Mhm.
use the logo that you gave that's on my jacket? He was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, say less. So this is actually on my jacket.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
and then I have
awesome.
a new design coming out soon that one
Ooh.
of my friends at my college designed for me.
Oh, very nice. Do you have a gear that's been like your favorite so far?
Oh, I only have two gear, so it was either my workout gear that I got off Amazon,
Fair,
which is my first gear.
fair
So my
enough. Fair
first
enough.
gear was from Amazon that had green on it, and then I took
Mhm.
I got a green patch, like a green ribbon, and just slapped it on the hip. So that was my first gear. I was like, slay. This gear is so
Nice.
good. And then I had an actual designer do my gear, and I'm like, oh, why did I even start with that? Like
Right.
this is
You
where
should
it's
just do this
at.
instead. Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we've seen Supergirl. You've also on your Instagram we've seen Green Arrow as well.
Yes.
So is cosplay something that you're really into, something that you enjoy doing?
I like doing it when it's Halloween
Got you.
because
Got it.
then I have a good excuse to my mom to be getting the stuff. It's not like just trust mom, I'm gonna get it for a post. To be like, it's Halloween, I gotta get a costume, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Of
it's like
course.
it's
there you
just
go.
more like reasons to like why I should get it. So
Mhm.
like those are my favorite times too. Though throughout like the year, I'm like, maybe I should be this person or this person, and then eventually I have to just like dwindle it down.
Right.
And then eventually I get to choose, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go with this person this year.
Right.
So you're a big fan of Halloween.
I like dressing up. I do not like scary stuff though.
Okay.
Got
Got
you.
it.
Okay.
Got it. Narrowed down.
Yes. Do you have a favorite Halloween costume from over the years?
Probably Supergirl
Mhm.
because, and not just this one that I did this past one, because as far as I can remember, my first ever Halloween costume was a pink version of Supergirl when I was like really little.
Oh,
That's my
nice.
first
Okay.
memory of Halloween. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I know it would make my dad and mom want to buy this for me. I can say, hey, remember when I was Supergirl when I was really little? For my first
Right.
year of college, I want to be Supergirl again.
Yes.
And it worked.
Genius.
Very smart.
Now, so what does the future hold for one Becca Wiley?
I hope for success. whatever different means that comes in, whether it's more matches, bigger like opponents, bigger stages. Success can be defined in different ways, and I feel like over time my definition of success might evolve to something different. So whatever tomorrow's success is, I want that, and then whatever the next day's success is, I hope to get that too.
Great answer. Love that.
Right.
Love that.
Very good. All right. Well, that is going to bring us to our final question of the interview.
Yeah.
And Sean, why don't you take it away?
So for you, Becca Wiley, what does pro wrestling mean to you personally, and what is the significance that it has had on your life?
Wrestling to me is like being a superhero for someone who needs it. Superheroes are there to provide an out for someone, and I like to think that's what wrestling has done for me when I was younger. A way to get away from like school drama and stuff. It's a world I can just immerse myself in and enjoy the story. So for me, wrestling really transformed my life because I always loved a good story. And wrestling, my preacher always says, wrestling is not universal, but a story is universal. Everyone can understand a story. And I love that because it's true, because everyone loves a good story. So wrestling is just one big story just waiting to be told. And that's what it's really just meant to me. And I just want to be able to inspire someone, whether it's as a superhero or as myself, to inspire someone the way like Bailey has inspired me.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yes. Great answer. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the interview portion, which means that it's time for our main event. Top 5 list, and we are super excited for today's top 5 list. Sean, what are we doing today again? Can you remind me?
Top 5 dream matches.
Okay.
We're excited to hear what you got. Excited to hear your explanations as to why they're on the list. Do you have any?
I wrote it down.
Do you have any runners up?
Do you
have any runners up?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. Like who didn't? Okay, then yeah. Liv Morgan.
Okay.
All right. Honorable mention to Liv Morgan. Liv, I'm sorry, you did not make the list.
You did not make the list.
That's not what it's about. Okay, that's not what
Liv,
this is.
Liv, you were this close.
That's not what this is. No.
I'm sorry, Liv. It's over. If you're out there watching, Liv, I apologize, but
you've been cut.
No, it's not like X Factor. It's not X Factor.
You've had a good year.
She is not cut.
You are the weakest link. You've had a good year.
I had to strategically place my list to like dream to most realistic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha. See. Okay. All right.
Either way, Liv, you're not realistic.
You didn't make the list.
Dream, you're out.
That's so bad.
Missy says it best. Liv just quit wrestling. That's it. Call that out.
No.
Call that out.
Listen,
done.
Listen, she's got nothing left now but Dirty Dumb. Like that's all she's got left in life.
That's all she's got left.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Liv. Wow. This took a turn for the worse.
Nosedive.
All right. Well, in all seriousness, now that we've taken care of Liv Morgan, let's get to the rest of your list here. We're excited.
Should we go from top or to bottom?
We can go 5 to 1.
Yeah, let's do 5 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 5. So I'm doing it as like realistically to like dream matches. That's how I organize it.
Got you.
So number 5, Mimi.
Okay. All right.
Which is a realistic one because we both wrestle for bell to bell. So I'm like,
exactly. So that could happen in the future. Missy, take notes.
Yeah, listen, there's somebody watching this show who might be interested in that, might be interested in hearing all about your desire to wrestle Mimi.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to wrestle her because I went to one of my first indie shows, and Mimi was on the card. And I was like, holy crap, this girl got wings. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then I started following her after that, like her career and stuff. And I'm like, oh, she's not even that much older than me. She's really cool.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Yes. So I also just love Mimi as a person too. She's just such a great person.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
All right.
Number 4.
Number 4 is someone who just recently was released for WWE and is now taking bookings.
Oh,
Nixon Newell.
Oh, yeah.
that is a great pick. Yes.
Great one. Oh, yeah.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, I always loved her in WWE. I first saw her in the Mae Young Classic, and then obviously with the knee injury, and then she came back, and I was like, oh my god, she's almost like a superhero because she just came back from like a crazy injury, and it's like kind of insane. And then I started like when she was out, I did like started like looking at like her old stuff as Nixon Newell, and I'm like, holy crap, she's really cool. And I'm like, I want to wrestle Nixon Newell now too.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah,
she didn't have the best of time in the WWE only because again it was unfortunate that she ended up
couldn't stay healthy,
injuring herself back to back on both knees. So like it was unfortunate, but she is a great talent and she is a very talented wrestler, and I hope wherever she goes next she kills it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who picks her up or what she does next.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Well, she came in around the same time as Dakota Kai, and I feel like they were both extremely talented, but again, unfortunately, with injuries just plaguing her, she never really got that jumping off point. But her indie work was incredible. Obviously, it got her on their radar. But yeah, that's a great pick.
So for number 3. Fellow Jersey girl, Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh, Virtuosa. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So I've liked Deonna for a long time, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of biased to like my Jersey girls. So it's like if they're Jersey, I'm like, oh, bonus points to you. And then I really watched her, and I'm like, wait, she's also really good too. And so I was like, wow. So I started following her, like her career and stuff, like in WWE. And then when she was released, this was, I think, near the end of in the middle of COVID, she did like a live stream, like meet and greet. So I actually met her through that.
Nice.
And then later, I think maybe like half a year later, I met her in person at a show, which was really cool.
Nice.
And then I just like started like seeing her more and more, and then she just remembered who I was, and I'm like, I'm gonna face you one day. Just remember that. I'm gonna face you.
Nice.
Very cool.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Just letting you know it's gonna happen.
Heard it here first. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, and you gotta work with the Jersey girls. You gotta support Jersey.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not in Jersey, but it's okay. We can. Sean's a Jersey guy. He lives in the what fictional area of Jersey do you live in?
Fictional Central Jersey. All right.
Central Jersey is not fictional.
It's not. Thank you. That's 2 now. That is 2. Sturdy Sal said it first. Thank you, Sturdy Sal. And now you. Thank it's 2. That's 2.
Like I'm not in South Jersey. I'm not in North Jersey. So yes, technically I'm in Central Jersey.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Moving on from Central Jersey to number 2.
Yes.
So you actually mentioned her before. Dakota Kai is my number 2.
Oh, nice.
Even better. That would actually be a really good match to see. I feel like you two would gel really well in the ring.
I think just Dakota Kai is so cool, and I love the way she sells every single move where it's like smooth, and I'm like, oh, that was so good. Like it was like like she sells everything that makes it look like it was disgustingly nasty, and I'm like, I'm like, I want to sell like you sell. Like she does it so well,
right?
And I feel like she makes everyone look like a star, which I just love.
Yeah, taking nothing away from Lyra Valkyria, but I really felt like Dakota Kai should have been the first women's Intercontinental Champion because she's a workhorse. As you said, she makes everybody look good. She's the kind of person you can put in the ring with anybody, and I felt like it was her time. Hopefully they have other plans for her down the road, but I really felt like that was her time, and she was very deserving of that. Again, nothing against Lyra Valkyria. I just felt like it was her time.
I 100% agree. I said to my mom, I'm like, I was like, I hope they both have fun because I love them both. But I was like, realistically, I'm like, I think wrestling-wise, storyline-wise, Dakota just makes more sense to be winning the title because she hasn't won a title in NXT, but obviously she won the tag titles, but like not a singles title, and where Lyra has, and it wasn't that long ago. So it only makes sense for Dakota to be able to get her moment, which sadly though she didn't.
Yeah. Hopefully one day soon.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So that's going to bring us to our number one. And again, we were going from realistic to dream match.
Right.
And I have a feeling that I can guess who number one is. And
No way.
I have a hunch.
Spoiler
I have a
alert.
hunch.
Spoiler alert, it's not Liv Morgan.
She's out.
Not
Out.
Liv Morgan.
Still out.
That's so bad.
Over there.
Look, I didn't say
We didn't say
she
it.
was-
We didn't
look,
say you did.
you know.
We didn't say
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Said it,
I'm
but
just-
not in the way of her being like not on the list. And she's not a dream match. That is not what that meant. You gave
Liv
me
Morgan,
5 options.
You did not make the list.
You
That's
said
right.
5 options.
That's
It
right.
wasn't top 10.
That's right. Okay. All right. Well, listen, we can, when we have you on next time, we can do a whole nother top 5, and you can talk about like the top 5 ways you made Liv Morgan feel bad.
There you
It's
go.
okay. No,
thought you were
I'm
gonna
just
go with-
kidding.
I thought you were gonna go with the top 5 other half of the top 10 list.
Right. The
Well,
other half.
sure.
Like the
I
six-
mean,
the
Bottom
ten.
half. Bottom
the
half.
consolation
Bottom half of the list.
bracket. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The Liv Morgan honorary consolation
Right.
bracket. We'll go with. Okay. All right. So we're at number 1. Let us know who your number 1 dream match is.
So it might be hard to believe for some people watching,
Hmm?
but Bailey.
Yeah.
I know, it was like a
Really?
plot
Now-
twist. It was a
I would
plot
never,
twist.
would
I
never
I
have
did
guessed
not
that
see
in
that
a million
coming. No.
years.
No.
Never have guessed
I
that.
don't know.
I don't
mean,
know.
like,
I don't know how we got here.
I
I
don't
don't know how we
know.
got here.
No, yeah,
Uh,
everything with her would just be so full circle. I feel like because she
Mhm.
made me love wrestling. She's the reason why I wanted to become a wrestler. She's the reason why I believe in myself and want to continue to push myself like as far as I can go.
Mhm.
And I just feel like wrestling her would just be like, I make a joke to my friends. I'm like, I can wrestle Bailey and then I can retire.
There
Like
you go.
after
Done.
wrestler, I'm like straight up, I'll just retire.
Done.
Because I'm like,
out.
what else do I need? I don't need.
That's it.
Don't give me any titles. I just
No,
want to wrestle Bailey
no.
at that point.
Just
Oh,
Bailey, we're
great,
good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. You talk about Bailey the way that you do. I feel like since the beginning of her career, everything she's done has just been very inspirational to young women who
Yeah.
watch the sport, who want to be in the sport. I think if you look at Bailey, she's almost like the female version of John Cena.
Aha.
He's been around forever. She's done everything that you can imagine, and she is an inspiration to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, like I've been a fan of her since like 2014, and it's like I've been with her for a long time in WWE,
Mhm.
and the way she inspires me, I always say, I'm like, I hope to one day inspire someone else the way that she inspires me, because the way she
Mhm.
inspires me is like an unbelievable amount. And my main goal is to inspire someone with a disability, but if I can just inspire someone in general, that would be more than enough.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was an incredible, if not surprising, top 5 list. Again, our apologies to Liv Morgan. Other than that, though, great top 5. Again, the number 1 was such a surprise. I'm blown away.
I know.
I know. I don't think anyone
wasn't ready
expected
for it.
that.
I wasn't ready
Well,
for it.
And listen, you talk about some of these names, and you said you were going from, more realistic to more dream match, and you're very early on in your career. You've
Mhm.
got a lot of
So much time.
left in this business, and these are 5 names that I feel like for you will all be realistic at some point, because you're just getting started, but you're already, you're talking to people from Cultaholic, you're getting
I know.
chance in Long Island, like you're out there, you're getting your name out there, and people are recognizing you, people recognizing what you do. So
Mhm.
I think there's a good chance that even the ones that you think are going to be dream matches will be realistic for you at some point in your career.
Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break while you check out this video. And when we come back, we are going to be talking some upcoming events with Becca Wiley. Well, folks, be
Oh,
sure to
yeah.
check out all the great videos we have on our YouTube channel, including last week's video, our first Bell to Bell month interview with Gabby Ortiz and one guest host, Missy Sampson, who
Yes.
filled in for Sean as he was on
Thank
the
you, Missy.
high seas on the Jericho cruise. Yes, thank you, Missy. It was an honor and a pleasure
Seriously,
to have
though.
you here as a guest host. But we do have some great interviews coming up as well. As I previously mentioned, next week we'll be talking to Mother Endless. And I joke about it being terrifying, but it might just be a little bit.
It might be a little scary.
A little
Just
bit.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be wrapping up Bell to Bell month with Big Daddy Adriana Mosley.
Oh, yeah.
So it's it's been a very strong month. Just want to throw out there before we get into some upcoming events. We just hit 300 subscribers.
Whoop, whoop.
So it has been quite a journey for us, and we have not been able to do this without the support of our fans, the support of people who are supporting us and watching us. And of course, we've had a lot of great guests who have continued to support us throughout our time. So we're so thankful for everybody. We want you to know that we see all of the support, and we love you guys for it. We love doing this for you. And with that, let's get into some upcoming events. Becca, what have you got going on?
Well, I have the next Bell to Bell show coming up, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And then I have a title match against Scarlet Maiden at IWA in Nutley.
Ooh.
Which, fingers crossed, I finally win this title, because I feel like it's going to be the 40th time I'm trying to win this thing.
Listen, everyone collectively cross your fingers on this one. Let's get cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your arms, cross your eyes, cross everything. Yes.
And then obviously I got, like the next Bell to Bell events coming up in the future.
Sure.
And again, hopefully win title IWA, and then maybe I can be on their shows more.
Yeah.
And then Mawa told me that they want to have me back, which is pretty cool.
Ooh,
so
there you go.
Right now I have mostly IWA and Bell to Bell as far as constant bookings. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. Because I feel like they really just embraced me, both of them. And just took me in, and I'm like, it's just really cool.
That's awesome. Well,
really cool.
We've been running your socials along the bottom of the screen there, so of course people can follow you on the socials to see everything that you're doing. And if you want more information about Bell to Bell, you can follow them as well on socials, and you can hit up belltobell.com. Tickets are on sale for their upcoming event, Ring the Bell. Interestingly enough, we're going to be, Sean, a couple places, aren't we?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, we're going to be a couple
big
places.
Time.
Boom! Look at that. This Saturday, we're going to be in Sellersville, PA
That's
for
right.
Royalty Wrestling's Chivalry is Dead. We will be live covering the event there. Very exciting stuff. Then, speaking of Bell to Bell, March 22nd in Paulsboro, New Jersey, we will be at Ring the Bell, covering that event as well. The following day, we'll be in Philadelphia for Sean Henderson Presents and Labor of Love's Wrestle Cup 3, which we are an official sponsor for.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be there covering that event.
And we are also official sponsors for the first big show of the brand new promotion, Power Pro Lucha, out of Philadelphia, PA, at the Arlen Squash Center.
The Arlen Specter U.S. Squash Center.
Yes, I'm sorry, the full name, Arlen Specter U.S. Squash Center. But yeah, we are official sponsors for that one. Cannot wait for that one. It's going to be a huge first showing, Regeneration, Power Pro, Lucha Armada. It's going to be amazing.
So please come out and support all of these shows. They're all extremely important. Make sure that you're supporting women's wrestling as well, because what they're doing with Bell to Bell is incredible. We're very happy to be involved in that. And stop by the shows. You see us, say hello. We will be there covering the event. And that's some exciting stuff. I'm excited for Bell to Bell.
Super excited.
I think it's going to be a great show. The card is ridiculously stacked. I mean, there's just so many matches.
So much happening already. Yeah.
I don't know how you could go there and not have a good time. It's going to be a great show.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for another episode of the Opinion City podcast. We want to thank Becca Wiley for joining us tonight. We finally got this episode in, but I'm glad we're able to chat it up with you and talk about all things Becca Wiley.
That's right.
I had a great time, so thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
And you are welcome here on the show anytime. We look forward to seeing
Always.
you at Ring the Bell. It's going to be a great show.
Mhm.
So good luck in your tag match there. Good luck in your title match. Hopefully you'll be.
Hope we win some gold.
Yeah, bringing home a title.
Thank you.
Listen, cross them elbows, cross whatever you need to cross. Get them fingers crossed. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us here at the Opinion City Podcast. For Becca Wiley, for Parmesan, I am King Ralph. And remember, kindness is free, so be kind to each other. And guys, we will see you next time.